everyone. Thanks for tuning in again to another episode. I'm your moderator, Isaiah Friedman. I'm the VP of Communications here at the Syracuse Sport Business Conference. I also work with SLAM, the NBA Summer League, and the Syracuse basketball team today. We have a very special guest for you today. Joining us is Chris Johnson. He is an NBA skills trainer for many NBA players. He's also the founder of Under the Whistle, the #1 online player and coaches development training program in the world, and has his own YouTube channel where he posts videos and training breakdowns. He also runs a youth hoops clinic on Sundays and has a merch site, Just Hoop. Chris, welcome.
Hey, appreciate it, Isaiah.
Of course. And everyone, we will have a Q&A section in the last 10 minutes of the show, just to let you know. But Chris, let's get to it. You went to school at Texas A&M University, Kingsville, received your bachelor's in kinesiology and exercise science. When did you realize you wanted to become a coach or trainer? Because it seems pretty early.
Yeah, well, for me, basketball has been a family thing since I was little, right? My dad played at Baylor. Um, my whole family has been a part of basketball. So when I was about maybe like 10, I felt like I wanted to play basketball as long as I could. Every kid ambition is to play at the highest level, which was the NBA. And back then, this guy named Michael Jordan was like one of the best. Magic, Isaiah, these guys were like really phenomenal, and it really inspired me to want to be a part of basketball. And when I got to high school, I had this amazing basketball coach named Dwayne Silver, and he taught me so much about the impact that basketball had on the lives of individuals, not just on the court, but off the court. And you can really change somebody's life when it comes to sports. So when I was about 13, I knew exactly what I wanted to do in life. And I told my assistant today, I was like, it's funny that I'm doing what I thought I would be doing 13 when I was 13 years old. And I knew being a player, I didn't know how I would transition into being a coach. And then where I'm at today, I didn't like foresee it, and I didn't like plan it. Um, but I knew that I would be doing it at some capacity.
That's awesome, man. And it's so rare. And, not only are you skilled, which is a huge part of it, but you're lucky. Like, I've known I wanted to be in the industry for a while, and you get a head start. And it's great to see what you've done with that. Who
The
gave you
earlier, the
your
better.
exactly? And I want to know who gave you your first chance in the training industry.
Well, it's not the training industry. I'm a coach. You just said it.
Yeah.
And I've always been a coach, and I'm a coach now. I'm actually just trying to be the best teacher in the world. So, the cliche nowadays are a lot of guys want to be trainers, but to be able to develop somebody is the most critical part. It's not taking a set of drills or some information and putting someone's livelihood in your hand. So being a coach was super important to me. I've been a grad assistant, which was super important to me. I didn't make any money. I've coached in college. I've coached at the high school level, at the highest level as a head coach. I coached in the G League, coached in the NBA, and now I own my own consulting company. And I'm a teacher. I'm like, you know what a sommelier is?
No.
So a sommelier is the top of the top wine tasters in the world.
Uh,
It's like a one percenter, right? And no matter what wine you bring to them, they could tell you the region, the origin, what type of, where did it come from, what family was a part of it. It takes a long time to become a sommelier. So I would pretty much look at myself as a sommelier in the basketball world.
yeah, that's a good point. And my bad with the coaching, because I've seen in comment sections guys like, oh my God, that guy Chris, he coached me in high school. Like, you've come
Yeah,
so far. And which of those experiences do you think you learned from the most, or was it just a culmination of everything?
man, I'm a continual learner. This is for you young guys out there that you have a lot of guys, like I said, once again, that they consider themselves the cliche of being a trainer, right? When you run a business, you learn a lot in business. When you become a master teacher, you learn a lot from each stage in your life. So it wasn't one particular point that stands out to me that I learned the most. But the one thing that a lot of people confuse uh, developing players with, especially when it comes to me, is that all of them are NBA players. I love working with, kids that are 5 years old in kindergarten. I have a youth camp, Just Hoop, that we're focusing on the youth and their development. You the same way I would develop a top NBA player would be the same way that I would develop a preschooler.
That's
So
awesome.
when you love teaching, Isaiah, it doesn't matter who you're teaching. You just want to be in that classroom, in that gym, teaching and developing people. And that's what's so exciting for me.
Yeah, you're preaching right now. The day I met you, you were training a 7-year-old kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
So
I don't. So there's no limits to it, and no matter what top basketball player in the world I've worked with, I work with the best. There's no way around it. I work with the best players in the world.
it's facts. It's
I
true.
still I still want to be in the gym with those guys that one day may have a potential opportunity to be the best.
I love that. And that's just what's great about you. Even now, training these top players, you're still doing the youth leagues,
Yeah.
you're not leaving that behind.
Mm-mm. Never,
And
and I never will, because it's important to me. And I'm trying to set the precedent for other people that want to follow behind me. That when you're a teacher, that's all you love doing is teaching.
and I want to know, you're such a great trainer. How do you go about building your client base, whether it's the kids or the top of the top NBA players?
I don't focus on that. I just focus on the craft.
Maybe
And
that's
I
how you
think,
get the players, right? Yeah.
I think your gift always make room for you. And a lot of people, as even for you, like you're a super hard worker.
Thank you.
You're very loyal. You're going to be super successful
I
in
appreciate
life. And the reason why I'm here today, and I just took time out of my day, is because I care about you. I love you, and I think you're an amazing person. Because it's hard to even get me. I had
it
a
so hard.
few interviews this week. Um, I'm not even gonna say with some large platforms that I just couldn't fit it into my schedule, and I was not going to let you down. So for
My man.
me, changing people's life is so important to me that my cup overflows, and people see that you're really focused on the craft. See, when you fall in love with what you're doing in life, and that craft may be different. Each person craft, like all the people that are going to be listening to your podcast and they're going to be watching this, I would want them to take away not just me being a basketball developer, coach, trainer, and working with the best players in the world. I want them to take away that I'm somebody that lived my dream and I'm living my dream. And whenever you focus on the craft, your dream will be fulfilled.
I couldn't have said it better myself. My question is though, everyone knows from the videos, from the players that you train, seeing how they improve. You're one of the most respected players in the game. Uh, Coaches, what do you think makes you different from the other trainers out there?
Wow, now that's a good question.
Thank
Um, Honesty. I'm very honest. I give an honest evaluation to each individual. Like when you come to see me, it's my job to tell you the truth. Now, if you know Isaiah like I know, it's really hard to tell people the truth
for
about
sure.
themselves, right?
Yeah,
So you got to be creative and you have to be able to navigate the honesty part. Then integrity. Like I'm who I am. Like I'm not gonna build my name on the back of the success of a player. I'm gonna build my name as being a master teacher And, so they respect me just the way I respect them. So then it becomes mutual. So when I'm working with those top individuals, they understand that I'm a businessman, they're businessmen, and my job is to be this for them. Their job is to be this for themselves. So, when it comes to that, man, that component is something that separates me. Another thing is the work ethic. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm continually learning, studying myself, studying film, um, talking basketball. I'm always asking questions. I want to know. Like, I want to know. I just want to know, hey, why did you do that? Like, the best players in the world. What made you do that? And sometimes you get really good answers. And then sometimes you get, well, I just been doing it. And people on the outside, like, wow. And they don't realize that
Yeah.
that was just something that they just did. So, no, that was a really good question.
And that was a great answer, guys. You want to know what makes Chris different? Just watch this part. That'll tell you all you need to know. And I love how you talk about the craft. You're so just focused on that. And when looking at new clients, that it seems that they come to you, what are you looking for in a potential client, and what do you expect from them on a daily basis? Because you have high standards. You're not going to just take on anyone who's,
Mm-mm.
screwing
That's
around.
another good question, man. I get excited to work with new clients that are really focused, that like they come in very humble, but they're really good at what they do, and they come in to learn just as much as they can. They become your best students. And I've had some really, really good students.
For sure.
And so what happens is now I get a chance to say, I don't want to work with you. Not because I don't want to work with them, but because they may not have the work ethic that I need. And you don't pay me for the workout. You pay me and value me for my time.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys, they train these kids and they get paid for the training. You pay me for my time. My time is very valuable. It's not the development piece. The development piece is super important, but it's
Yeah.
the time. And the time is what becomes super important in everything that you put into.
I totally agree. And guys, Chris has receipts on that. Check his Twitter, and he's posting at 5 a.m., guys. Like this is
Yeah,
true. It's
five,
a fact.
4,
Time matters.
3, 2. Yeah, it
Really,
just
anytime.
anytime we
I
can
want to
get it.
know, you talked about watching film too. How do you approach training a new client when you get one? What do you choose to work on with them first?
Well, this is something that, I think all people should know. When you look at basketball, let's look at it like a puzzle piece, right?
Mhm.
The paint, inside the paint, is its own puzzle piece. So every player that plays the game of basketball has to be able to play in the paint, regardless of how tall they are,
Mhm.
regardless of their size, right? They have to master the paint. So when I look at the paint, I look at the paint and say every player has to learn how to finish at the rim, how to float it, how to shoot hook shots, how to shoot runners. Then outside of the paint, depending on the level of the player, if I'm dealing with a player that's in the NBA, we may work in certain parts of the floor, and then we may execute certain things that will make him super better, like footwork, ball handling, individual moves, pick and roll, DHO,
Mhm.
slant, slop. But there's a rhyme and a rhythm to go with everything. So when I'm watching film on clients, the first thing that I really study is the footwork. Footwork is probably the most important tool
So
you
underrated.
can. So yes, and it's most people put ball handling before footwork, but if you actually get your feet right and you're able to get in and out of situations, you become almost unstoppable.
That's so true. And you talk so well about all these intricacies of training the players, and it's great. I want to know overall, what is the most rewarding part of training these guys, being with them on a daily basis?
Man, their success.
Yeah,
Their success is my success.
that's so well
You know,
put.
I I don't, some of my clients make 30, 40 million dollars a year. I don't make 30, 40, 50 million dollars a year. But what I do is I enjoy people winning. Like right now, guys, Isaiah is winning and I love it. And this is why I'm on here today, because I get a chance to celebrate with you and
Yeah,
winning. And I think that's the biggest gift that I have in life, is to be able to celebrate with other people when they're winning.
that's so
It's
beautiful, man.
amazing. That's amazing, bro.
And it answers part of this question I was going to ask, but I still want to ask it because sources have said you've received offers from NBA teams asking to work with them. People want you. What makes this current lifestyle more appealing? Why don't you go?
That's a good question. I mean, every year I get at least 2 or 3 offers from the NBA. Okay. What I've learned is the NBA is the same as me. The NBA is an organization that has different teams that have their own entity. Myself, my company, I have several companies. My company, Chris Johnson LLC Associates,
Yeah,
is the big company for me, right? Then I have Under the Whistle, which
yeah, we'll
under the
get to this
whistle,
one.
I have, different companies. So for me, I've realized freedom, the ability to be able to make my own schedule, travel, take the interviews that I want. Uh, is when you own your own business, you put yourself in a different position.
For
Working
sure.
for an working for an NBA team, I know I'm no longer an individual. I work for the team, so anything the team asks me is what I have to do.
And as you said, the businesses, you're not just a trainer. You're an entrepreneur, and your company Under the Whistle, it's really taken off with developing these coaches. How did that idea come to fruition?
Well, for me, I'm a teacher. So teaching doesn't just stop with player development. It's coaches development and trainers development. Let me say that again. Teaching does not just stop with player development. I have player development, I have coaches development, and I have trainer development. So my job is to give my expertise to all 3 phases. So my company Under the Whistle, I have a brand called Just Hoop. Just Hoop is where I have my coaching clinics. I have my youth clinics. I have a 3-on-3 league, which is great for development. I have my individual Pacific clinics, like Point Guard School. Me and Rajon Rondo is going to be doing a Point Guard Academy. Me and Dwayne Wade, we're doing uh, his academy in the summer with the NBA players, which will be our 3rd year doing it. And so teaching is so important for me to be able to give to not only players, but to coaches and guys that want to train. So
Yeah.
Under the Whistle, I own another company I'm the CEO of, called Play for Us LLC. Isaiah, you need to go get the game. We just
Oh, yeah.
dropped our first game called
With
Dare to
Jesse.
Play,
Okay.
and I did it with my business partners, Jess and Chris London.
Oh, we all
We have
love them.
another, yeah, for sure, and we have another game coming out in like 2 weeks called Run, and then we're gonna drop about 10 games this year. Um, we've already sold out. This is a multi-million-dollar company that I started. I own my own app. I have a shooting glove that's coming out that I'm going to be teaching people all around the world how to shoot. It's a Just Hoop shooting glove. Um, I own my own YouTube. I have an app in China, Muho Television, that I'm doing. I have I have a subscription base.
Yeah.
I have everything. So being a business guy is super fun to me, and it gives me an opportunity to give back.
Yeah, it's great because it's so different. You're training, you're coaching, and the business, and you're also active on YouTube, and of course the collaboration with Jesse and Chris. How important is social media and all of that to everything?
So social media is so important, and the reason why is it changed the way advertising and marketing is, right? So you have to either get on board and dominate it, or you get left behind.
Exactly.
So Instagram is a different platform than Twitter.
Yeah.
Two different audiences. I think we got like 40,000 on TikTok. Two
Oh,
different audience. Yeah, like you got to go check my TikTok out, Chris
man, I
Johnson
still haven't
Wins.
gotten on the TikTok bandwagon. I gotta get
Yeah,
there.
I got like 40K on there,
That's
and yeah, and so we have almost 50K on YouTube, and we had a big Facebook, and so I think social media marketing is a big piece for small businesses as myself.
exactly, and in all your businesses. And curious, I assume this is correct, but do you think that social media, all that presence that you give out, helps you attract clients?
Mm, no,
No, because it's just the skills then, I guess, right?
well, because I don't. If you know basketball, you know that it's got to be much more to what I'm showing. We only show on Instagram a 6 second to 15 second clip.
Yeah.
It's a clip,
Sure.
and with the clip, excuse me, and with the clip, you make and learn that particular clip, but I have like 200 million clips.
Hmm.
So
Quality.
you only right. So I don't think so. I think guys now over all these years they know, and that doesn't mean that everybody works with me.
Hmm.
Is even though I'm known by every player,
Yeah.
every
Well,
every player doesn't work with me because they get a chance to choose if they want to work with me also.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you talked about this a bit, but I want to hear more. You run this youth hoop clinic, and you give back to the community, which is amazing. Is that exactly what inspired you to make time for this amid all your other businesses and time commitments?
I love giving back. I, you know, reach one, teach one. If I could reach one and teach one and build a community, that's going to be so important for me, Isaiah. Um, you know, that's what we're here for. That's
Yeah.
what we're here for. That's how you got a chance to meet me, is because you stepped up to the plate and asked for an opportunity, and I was like, let's give him an opportunity, and you showed up and work your butt off every day.
Thank you.
That's what it's about.
I had a
That's what
great
it's all
time.
about.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to know two last questions. What advice would you give a young coach trying to break it into this industry?
Ooh. So first things first, never do anything for money. Do it to gain experience. The experience is what will pay you later on. So if you have a dream, follow your dream, but don't expect a big payout unless something happens along the way that goes boom, boom, boom. Because a lot of time people say, man, I want to follow what I really want to do here, but I'm going to make more money right here. And so we call that opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Don't let this opportunity cost you a future of loving the craft, loving what you do, and also build you a network.
Yeah.
Isaiah is a Isaiah is a prime example, guys. That
So it's
Isaiah
great.
now, yeah, you're a part of my network now.
Thank
So
you.
everyone can get me on to their podcast because
Yeah.
I have my own podcast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we have a podcast called The Platform. Y'all need
Yeah.
to check it out.
Yeah. What guests do you have on there? What do you talk about on that podcast?
Man, so we've done 25 episodes. I've
Goodness,
had
I
Coach
know.
Tom Thibodeau. I've
Okay.
had I've had Jamie Foxx. We've
Oh, wow.
had we've had Jamal Crawford. We had D Wade. We had
A great list.
Clyde Drexler. We had Phil Handy, the coach for the Lakers. We've
Love
had
it.
we did all legendary players and retired players. I haven't put any current players on my podcast yet. I wanted to wait because I know so many legendary players that we actually got them on. And the podcast is Kenyon Martin. So if you go check it out, it's called the Basketball Platform, and it's on all medias.
Check it out, guys. And my last question, I like to ask this to everyone, and it's my favorite question to ask because it always gives such a different answer, but it's insightful. What is one mistake you made in your career, and how did you learn from it?
Mm. Um, I think the one mistake that I made is maybe putting too much uh, on being mistake free.
Hmm.
So
Striving for
like,
perfection.
well, yeah, you got to make mistakes. You know,
Yeah,
you gotta. That's the only way you learn. You gotta make mistakes, and you need mentors. So for me, making mistakes is what shape you. It don't break you. And you need people around you that's going to tell you, hey, that's not right.
who were some
Or
of those people for you?
keep, man, I got at least 5 or 6 really good mentors.
Yeah.
Uh, my big brother, Phil Handy, which coaches for the Lakers.
So happy
Clyde,
for him getting that
Clyde,
opportunity to see.
yeah, Clyde Drexler, um, BJ, which works for the Rockets. And then I have other mentors and stuff like that. But I have people that I could reach out to that even when I was young, I could reach out to them and still can to this day.
That's great. I mean, we're always learning, like you said. Um, Guys, we want to take it to the Q&A portion. We have another question from Danielle Parr. Chris, you do a great job of keeping your clients in top physical shape. How much emphasis do you put on staying healthy mentally?
So here's the deal. And that's a good question.
Mhm.
Um, when I finished playing ball and I became a graduate assistant, I went back to school to get my master's in counseling. So I have a master's degree in guidance and counseling because I felt like the mental and emotional side is probably 75% of being an athlete or being an exceptional businessman, woman, or anything that you do. So the emphasis on the mentality, on the mind frame, the mindset is so important. You know, I think emotional intelligence allows for you to grow, and it allows you to stay in tune with who you are and what you're trying to achieve. So that is a super big piece. Um, and that's why I call myself a teacher and a counselor.
Yeah, I mean, you really got both of them down. Got another question here from Chris Parsons. Our first Corona question. We had to cover it, Chris. In what ways has the virus changed or reinforced how you market your services?
Well, I mean, if you go to my Instagram today, my team and I, we had a clinic, which is one of our youth clinics that we do on Sundays. We want the kids to feel safe. So anytime we're in the gym, we have wipes, we have our hand sanitizers, we have wipe down balls, um, we have a mask on. And with the youth, we practice social distancing
Yeah.
in the gym of 6 feet, right? So not only are we able to get the kids out the house and keep their brain focused,
Hmm.
we're able to provide a service to the youth in this trying time dealing with the coronavirus. So, you know, it's new to us all.
Yeah.
And I think that the more we learn about it, the better we'll know how to deal with it. I think it is a very dangerous virus, but I also
Yeah.
think that we're going to have to learn how to deal with it and live with it. And
Right.
so if you go to my page, you'll see that we're
All that.
practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you want to practice like me I'm in my office, so I don't have a mask on. I wipe down, I shower.
Yeah.
You wash your hair. You want to do it because number one, you want to protect yourself. Number
Totally
two, you
agree.
want to protect. I want to protect my family, and then I want to protect other individuals from coming encounter with something if I was exposed to it.
For sure.
So we're really cognitive of it, and we're praying for the families and for people that have contracted the virus, and we're wishing them, to get well soon.
Yeah, it's a very sad situation, but you of all people, you guys got the protocol down. Another
Yeah.
question here from Jack. We got a couple more before we're done. How much time do you devote to your coaching business when you already have a full-time one coaching players?
I spent a lot of time on it. When I finish with you guys, I'm gonna got my pen, my paper here. I have my camera set up. I'm
Yeah.
going to be going into another webinar in just a minute, and I did so far, even with the coronavirus, I've done 6 coaches clinics, over 60,000 people I reached.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
it's a lot, and so it's what I do, so it doesn't feel like work.
Got it. And one last question from Ian. What is your favorite training story? Or whichever you can
um,
tell.
wow, I don't. It's so many,
I know.
so many. Hmm. Okay. One of my favorite training stories is it's like a multiple stories, but like
Let's
when
hear
my
it.
young when my young players that are prospects for the NBA,
Hmm.
when you bring in a superstar that you've been working with,
Yeah.
them even being like they're about to get drafted, when they walk in and they say, it just lets you know, like, no matter how high you go, we all look up to somebody.
Yeah. And that's great. You get to be the mediator there. Like, hey, I'm gonna
Yeah,
try
no,
my best to
yeah,
help.
I bring them over. I be like, hey, come here, let me let you meet them, and we meet, we laugh, and then when the workout is over, you could see something about that other kid change because now he realized that he actually can do this,
Yeah.
even though he's already been doing it.
And you put them with these players on the peer level,
Right.
and
So
that
that so
goes
that
on.
you can help, with business and decision making and making the right decisions with each other. So we try to build a family.
I love hearing that, man. Chris, you've given us so much of your time already. We really appreciate you for coming on, my man.
Thank you so much, Isaiah, man. Anything I could do for you, for your team, you just let me know. Send me over the videos. Be happy to post them.
Of course, my man. Guys, follow him, Chris Johnson Hoops on Instagram. I'll talk to you later, man.
Peace, Zaya.